Thank you to Daniel Hassenbo for posting that on YouTube. I had to look for it everywhere. Michelle Gabriel in 2025 wrote an article about how Disneyland had so many secret things about it. And one of them that I did not know before I was doing this was the Pirates of the Caribbean ride used to have all real skeletons. Yep, all of them were real. They used to get them from UCLA Medical Center. Now there's only one human skull left, and it's tacked on the headboard in the bedroom there in the Pirates of the Caribbean. Well, 7 out of 10 classmates decided that Disney in a Day was something that they wanted to hear about. And so I was willing to oblige, but then I added something else. Disney in a Day as an adult. I moved to California in 1990 from Wyoming. I bought passes for myself and my 2 kids when they were cheaper. We went monthly, sometimes weekly, to Disneyland, and it was always a wonderful adventure. And when you go a lot, you don't have to go to everything in the park, so you can plan that as well. I wanted to go with adults too. I wanted to see what it was like to go to Disneyland with just my friends, my girlfriends. So we went and had just a terrific time. And so that's what this speech is going to be about. You can always go with kids, but sometimes it's fun to just go with adults. In a few short minutes, I'm going to tell you about where I would suggest that you go in the park. I hope to save you time if you're planning a trip. And right now, the 70th year celebration is going on. Just 70 years just this past week. We're going to start out our journey in Main Street. In Main Street, there are lots and lots of shops, places to eat, places to shop, but there's a main attraction that I want to be sure you all know about. It's Adventures with Mr. Lincoln, and it's right when you come in the park, it's to the right. And it's state-of-the-art animatronics. And if you've never seen it, it is marvelous. There are so many things that they talk about, and they're going to have Walt Disney as well. So they're going to join that up in that same area, and they're going to switch it off between the two. So there's an apartment that Walt Disney used to have that was in Main Street, and it's above the fire station in Main Street. And in his window, you can see there's a light on, and he always had a light on. He started staying there when they were doing construction, and he wanted to be just right there at the whole time when they were doing it. And then he used to bring his kids and grandkids, and so it was a fun place for them to go and retreat. The shops stay open late on Main Street, so don't feel like you have to shop buy everything you want to buy. You don't want to haul stuff around the whole day, because if you're on rides and things get easily broken or lost. So let's see. Oh, I wanted to remind you that the highest rated and the souvenir that everybody likes the most is the Mickey ears. So you want to be sure that you don't wait too long to get your Mickey ears. Our second stop is Adventureland and Frontierland. There are 2 attractions in these 2 areas that I'm going to mention. The first is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, which is in Adventureland, and Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is in Frontierland. Before you move over to Frontierland, you might want to take a moment and sit in the Walt Disney Enchanted Tiki Room. It was one of the original attractions, and it was one of Walt's favorites. When you leave there, you might want to just go right around the corner to the Tiki Juice Bar to get a Dole Pineapple Whip. In Frontierland, the extra things that you can do if you check the schedule is to go to the Golden Horseshoe Saloon, and they have audience participation acts. They're fun acts. comedians, some singers, all kinds of different things. It gets boring for kids maybe, but you can go in and just sit down for a few minutes out of the sun. And they serve food, but I would wait because there's better food in the park. Moving on to New Orleans Square. This is where I personally spend a lot of time. Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion are the two main attractions that are there in New Orleans Square. The Haunted Mansion might be closed when you're there if it's before the holidays, because they change it out and it's Jack Skellington and Nightmare Before Christmas and all of that. So you might want to be sure to check your dates if that's one that you really, really want to go to. There is Fantasmic also in the area, and if you plan on going to Fantasmic, they're at night, and it's a wall of mist that they project all kinds of characters on, and there's live action and cartoons that are projected on there, and it's the evil beings versus our hero Mickey the Sorcerer. And so if you want to go make reservations, you can do that, or you can just bring a blanket and sit on the ground, but don't sit too close to the water if you don't want to get wet. Also in New Orleans Square, they have musicians playing jazz, and they have beautiful shops there, perfume shops and crystal shops, all kinds of things. If you want to buy things there and you want to try to put it in a place where you can pick it up later, you can ask for a Disney associate, and they can tell you where a place is, or they can take it to the place or wherever. But I would suggest to you that you can get a locker outside of the Disneyland before you come in. It's on the left-hand side where you go in the gates, and it's about $20 a day, and you can just go out of the park, go to your locker, go back in to the park in the same way that you went in the first time. So that's really helpful. There's three good places to eat in New Orleans Square. The first is the swanky one, Blue Bayou. And if you want to eat there, you want to make reservations early for the time that you want to eat. There's also a great mint julep bar with non-alcoholic mint juleps and Mickey beignets that my daughter-in-law says are to die for. My favorite is the Royal Street Veranda, and there I get clam chowder in a sourdough bread bowl. Makes me salivate just thinking about it. The next place we're going is the new Star Wars area, and I'm depending on family and research for this one because I've not been in this area yet. But my daughter-in-law, again, is a huge Star Wars fan and said she could spend hours there. You can make your own lightsaber. You can go visit the aliens in the, I'll tell you in a minute, cantina. There's two main attractions, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance and the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. Caroline Ike, a California-based writer and photographer, says the Rise of the Resistance is, quote, one of the coolest and most innovative rides in the park. And the cantina that I mentioned is called Oga's Cantina, and it's just like in the Star Wars movie with the characters and all kinds of different beings in there. They serve, quote, otherworldly cocktails and snacks, says Kaylee Gammo, who was a former cast member and is now a professional Disney trip planner. The last area that I'm covering today is Tomorrowland. The Matterhorn and Autotopia are the two big attractions there. The Matterhorn has a lot of sharp turns and it's dark a lot of the time in the ride. So if you have back or neck problems, you might want to skip that one. But Autotopia is a family favorite. You get to power the cars yourself. They're on a rail. And my youngest child, who just turned 40, challenges us still to races. You can get hamburgers at the Galactic Grill or pizza from the Alien Pizza Place. School groups often perform here, bands, choirs, all kinds of different things. They audition to perform at Disneyland, and it's a really big deal. They also have bands at night, and they have a dance floor, and so people can dance and have a good time. We're almost at the end of our tour. There's a few tips and reminders. Always wear comfy shoes. External battery charger is a good idea because you might run out of juice in your phone, and there's a plethora of pictures to be had. Ride the Disneyland Railroad if your feet get tired. You can go around as many times as you want. It goes around the majority of the park, and there's lots of unique things to see, even on the railroad. There are hundreds of hidden Mickeys. Take a notepad, compare with each other. I'll give you one hint. One of the hidden Mickeys is in the Haunted Mansion, and as you look down into the dining room where they are dancing in the dining room, there is a Mickey plate with ears. It's just a white plate and the two ears up there at the top. So that's one of the hidden Mickeys, and that's the kind of thing you'll be looking for. There's a book about hidden Mickeys, and it's all the way in its 8th edition. Holidays are wonderful at Disneyland. Snow falls on Main Street during the evenings, and it is so beautiful. If you need to rent wheelchairs, they are available if you need them. The cost of tickets is as low as $104 and as high as $206, depending on the day you go. Disneyland in one day is certainly possible. The suggestions in this speech are only suggestions. You will become your own experts once you go. The happiest place on earth is absolutely that, especially for adults.